Hello, good day, pupils. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. You are welcome to our class today, our basic science class. This class is for basic 5 and also basic 6. And our topic today says light. So this is a continuation of what we have already done during the last class. We have been able to define light. So we said that light is the reflection or a visible form of energy that makes us see objects and see things. So today we are also going to look at light under the following objectives. So the specific objective for this lesson is that at the end of this lesson you should be able to state differences between rays and beam of light. So we are going to understand what a ray of light is and what a beam of light is. We're also going to explain light as a wave. Light as a wave. And we're also going to know the uses of light. If this light is important to us, what are the importance or what makes light important? So we are going to look at the application of light or ways in which light can be of use to human beings. Okay, now we start the class. The last time I told us that light is an electromagnetic radiation from a source. So I'm going to give you a simpler definition today, which says that light is a visible form of energy which radiates from a source. During that last class, I used a torchlight to show you the source. So there are many sources of light which I mentioned that day. There are ones which are artificial and there are others which are natural. These natural ones are the ones that come in nature. They are God made. God is the one that created those things and they started giving us light. And there are artificial ones, the ones that are made by man. So the natural ones, a typical example of the natural source of light is the sunlight. Sun is a source of light. It gives us light directly without any man. That is the reason why no man can switch it on and no man can switch it off. And the going in and setting of the sun is what causes day and night. So when the sun goes down, that means there is night, and when the sun comes up, that means there is what? Day. So the light is what makes us see. That is the reason why we don't see in the night. So now let's look at a ray of light. A ray of light. What is a ray of light? Now if you have your torchlight, or if you have a point of torchlight, you see it moving in a straight line. Now when there are many lines moving, we don't call it a ray of light, but when it is a single line, we call it what? A ray of light. So what is a ray of light? I say that a ray of light is a tiny line of light which travels in a straight line. A ray of light is a tiny line of light which travels in a straight line. Look at this image on your screen. This is a light from a source. Now if you look at it, you see small lines of light. This is what we call a ray of light. You can see the small single lines of light which appears on your screen. We call it rays of light. I know you must have seen it before. If you have your torchlight, you can try it as well. You see small tiny rays, small ones. These are the things we call ray of light. So from the definition, I say that a ray of light is a tiny line of light which travels in a straight line. It does not bend. If it bends, it's no longer a ray of light. So once you point your torch, you see it moving in a straight line, we call it a ray of light. So the picture here depicts it again. Let's move forward. Okay, look at another picture. This one appears clearer. You can see the light radiating from a source. You can see the light radiating from a source. You see tiny rays of light radiating from that source. That is what we call what? A ray of light. So if I ask you what, or your teacher asks you in the exam, what is a ray of light, or even in the assignment, I say, please define a ray of light. You should be able to tell me that a ray of light is a tiny line of light which travels in a straight line. I hope that is understood. Okay, moving forward, we'll now go over to beam of light. Look at the beam of light. Look at the picture which is shown on your screen. Now, a beam of light is produced when many light rays are produced at the same time. Now, you see, a collection of light rays is called beam. I repeat it again. A collection of light rays is called a beam of light. When it is more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and thousands of them put together, just like your broom in the house, you can have a single broomstick. But when it is tied together, when you bring them together, bring many brooms and tie them together, you have your bunch of broom tied together. But when it is one, you call it a broomstick. So what is a ray of light? A ray of light is a single line of light. What is a beam of light? A beam of light is now produced when there are many of them clustered together, tied together, moving together in a straight line. So from the definition, I say a beam of light is produced when many light rays are produced at the same time, traveling the same distance. Now, when your dad moves in the night in his car, you see that he will on his car's light, and you see a beam of light, a thick one, traveling in a straight line. It does not bend. It does not bend. Whenever it's bending, anyway, bending is another property of light. Know that there is an interference, there is something that is blocking the way of the light. But as far as there is space, remember I told you that this light moves at a speed of 3.0 times 10 raised to power 8 meters per second, or what we call 300 kilometers per second. Sorry, 300,000 kilometers per second. This light moves at a speed of 3,000 kilometers per second. So light has a very fast speed. Its speed is the speed rate is very high. Before you say jack, light has gone a very far distance. So it moves at a distance of 300,000 kilometers per second. So before 1 second, you see that your light has gone as far as possible. Remember the instance I gave you during the last class. I told you that when it's about to rain, you see that there will be thunder and lightning. Now, lightning and thunder is a phenomenon that occurred at the same time. So, but what happens is that because light is faster than sound, or light wave is faster than sound wave, the lightning from the thunder moves fast to our ears. We hear it first before the thunder even starts thundering. Before you hear the sound of a thunder, you must have seen the lightning. So this is a phenomenon that occurs at the same time, but because light is faster in speed, it covers this distance in a very short time, even before sound comes. Okay, I hope you are following this class. Good. Now let's move ahead. This is what we call a beam of light. So we say a beam of light is a collection of light rays. A collection of light rays. We can say, when you in your English language, you say singular and plural. So a beam of light is actually a plural form of what? Ray of light. Now let's move to the next slide. The types of beam. Types of beam. There are basically 3 different types of beam of light. There are 3 different types of what? Beam of light. They are the parallel beam, the converging beam, and the diverging beam. The parallel beam, the converging beam, and the diverging beam. Now, parallel beam are beams of light that move from one source parallel to each other. You remember light rays that I showed you? Okay, look at this picture. Let me use this picture to explain what these types. You can see the parallel, the convergent, and what? Divergent. Now, from the parallel, you can see that the whole light rays, there are how many light rays there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different rays of light traveling as a beam of light, but all of them are moving at a straight line, so they cannot meet each other. That is why we say that they are parallel. Remember from your mathematics, a parallel line are lines that cannot what? Meet with each other. So these lines are called parallel beam of light because they cannot meet each other. You see how they are moving from their source to another location. Good. Now the second one is the convergent. You can see convergent from the word converge. They are converging. So from a source, the light rays coming from different source toward one point, coming from different source to one point, we call it convergent beam of light. Now there is the one we call divergent, coming from one source and scattering to different sources. We call it what? Divergent beam of light. How many types of beam did I mention now? I mentioned 3 types of beam. The first one is the what? The parallel beam. The second one is the what? Convergent beam. And the third one is the what? A divergent beam. I hope you are following this class. Okay, let's move ahead. Light wave. What is a light wave? So a light wave is a visible form of energy which is made of tiny rays. So these tiny rays is what makes up what? A light wave. I said that a light wave is a visible form of what? Light or energy which is made up of what? Tiny rays. I hope that is also taken. So remember the objective for this lesson. So take note to know if you are actually covering the objectives, if you are understanding this lesson the way you ought to. So we say that a light wave is a visible form of energy which is made up of what? Tiny rays. Good. Uses of light. This is where we will end our lesson today, but you have to note these uses of light very well. What are the uses of light? You can tell me. Light makes you see in the night. You use your light to find a lot of things. You use your light to make your picture clearer. When mommy wants to snap, she will put on the flash light in her phone and make the picture look beautiful. You see that light makes a lot of things beautiful. Light comes to a dark place and brightens the place. We call it illumination. It illuminates the whole place and makes it beautiful. Now when your room is in the dark, mom comes and puts on the light and say, let there be light, and everybody will be happy. So this light is of a very, very important use to man. So what are the uses of light? The number one use of light is that it helps us to see things clearly. I mentioned that before. It helps us to see things clearly. Maybe you want to read in the night, you want to study your book, you want to do your assignments, and there is no light, or the light is not so bright. They say, no, on the generator, maybe there is no light from the national power grid. They'll say, okay, that will say, okay, on the generator, so that my son and my daughter can see and do their assignment very well. So light is an important source of what? Illumination. So it makes us to see things clearly. Another point is that light helps us to grow our plant and make food. So light helps us to grow our plant, or it helps our plant to grow and manufacture food. Remember from your agric that you have been taught photosynthesis. We say that photosynthesis is the process by which green plant manufacture their food with the use of carbon dioxide and water, and using in the presence of what? Sunlight. So that means sunlight is very, very important. That is why we don't do our farm work inside our house. We can do it in our compound, but sunlight is very, very important so that these plants can grow and make food, so that we can go and pluck the fruit and eat. You see, light is very, very important to man. Now let's also look at light from the sun is used as supply of what? Electricity. How does light supply electricity to us? I know you must have heard of solar power, solar panel, solar installation, a lot of things about solar energy. So solar energy is actually energy that comes from the sun. Now, due to sciences and engineering, we have been able to trap this energy from the sun and convert it to electric energy in the house. That is why when your dad hangs the solar panel at the top of your roof, connected with a wire to the room, to the houses, or to the rooms in the house, you see that there will be light even after power has been taken from the national grid. That will convert, or we turn on the inverter, or the solar energy inverter, so converting everything to light. You see your bulb comes on, your AC comes on, your fan comes on, many things comes on. You can even watch your television, in fact watch your cartoons, because there is light from the energy from the sun, energy from the sun converted to solar energy. Good. Now the last one but not the least is light from the sun is a good source of vitamin D to our bodies. Vitamin D to our bodies. You must have heard about vitamin D. So vitamin D is actually gotten from the sun, morning sun, not sun in the afternoon. Sun in the afternoon is harsh and is not good for the body, but the sun that comes out around 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. is called actually good for your body. It helps to refreshing your skin and takes care of people who are lacking vitamin D. So this light source supplies us vitamin D to our body. It makes our skin glow. So you can see that light is very useful to man. There are many other uses, but I will leave that to your assignment, because I will give you an assignment to mention other uses of light apart from the ones I have mentioned here in your Google Classroom. It's nice having you around. Then when you come to properties of light, let me chip in this. We have many properties of light: refraction, and all the rest of them. You get that in your note in your Google Classroom. I promise you tomorrow you will see it in your note. So please kindly join the Google Classroom if you have not joined. The code again is in your timetable. So go to the timetable, you see the code for your Google Classroom. But in case you have forgotten, the code is BSW TUSI. I love you all. Please, I thank you for sitting tight and watching this video. God bless you and have a nice day.